I think in this current day and age, we really tend to forget the true goal of a relationship. But before we get into it, give me the three freebies: like, share, and subscribe. This is the Firm and Fair podcast, and we have work to do. Let's get to it. So, when it comes to being firm and fair, we of course have the four visions, the three pillars, the two focuses, and the one goal. In the future video, we'll focus on those 10 tenets. But for now, let's just take a look at the four visions. The four visions are taking a look at one situation and then applying four different perspectives to it so you could truly kind of understand it. So, just in case if you forgot, here are the four visions. Logical. What makes the most sense on a logical basis? Straightforward. Everyone can kind of agree with this without emotion being taken into account. Contemporary. What's going on right now in this current day and age? How can we look at the goal of a relationship? Traditional. Traditional with the indication of when we saw the highest percentages of men and women staying together in their relationships, whether it was happy, whether it was good, whether it was sad, whether it was bad. And last but not least, Neolithic. What did we do before this current age of intelligence when we were cavemen, cave women? So that's one way to take a look at it, right? So let's focus on, I think the one that comes to mind first, Neolithic. When we were cavemen and cave women, the goal of a relationship at that point in time was mainly just to survive. All you had was each other. There were some terrors out here in this world that we would never be able to experience for ourselves. Could you imagine fighting a dinosaur right now, making it through that on a psychological basis? Saber-toothed tigers, you walk into the wrong cave, you lose half your clan. The goal back then was to protect each other, to survive as a species. I don't think in this day and age any of us are truly cut out to truly deal with that era. That's just my thought. Let's go with contemporary. What's going on right now in this day and age? For some reason, the goal of the relationships nowadays, we're not really taking marriage into consideration like we used to. People are just getting together, kind of focused on being entrepreneurs, focused on making a lot of money, focused on material wealth, as opposed to emotional health with someone. I think it's more important to focus on emotional health. But for some reason in this day and age, material wealth is what needs to be taken into consideration because, money walks and, bullshit walks a marathon. So, yeah, that's what's going on with relationships. The goal really isn't taken into consideration the person, how y'all feel about each other. It's about, hey, what do you have? What do I have? What can we do to bring it together? At least that's what's going on in my opinion. Logically, I think the goal of a relationship is to get that person to the other end of your life. Have that person protect you emotionally, protect your relationship. On a logical basis, wouldn't that be great to have a partner that you do indeed love? They love you. You don't share your relationship with the world, and you're just focused on protecting each other. You're just focused on wanting to get to the other end of life with this person. They're figuratively and literally the closest person to you in your life. But for some reason, people don't treat each other that way, and I don't know why. Well, I kind of know why, but that's a whole different issue. Last but not least, let's get into, wait, we did logical, we did contemporary, we did Neolithic. Okay, I think that's all. That's all the four. So for a recap, Neolithic, it was just to protect your species and, make it to the next part of the world without losing half your clan due to some ambush by big ass woolly mammoths and saber-toothed tigers and Tyrannosaurus, Power Rangers and whatnot, right? But traditional, oh yes, traditional. So traditionally, on a traditional basis, the goal of the relationship was to not disgrace your family's name, to have your clan and someone else's clan come together. It was almost like a business transaction because there was a dowry, a husband dowry and a wife dowry to get you started. So on a traditional basis, people stayed together and it had nothing to do with love. It had more to do with having a bigger clan, having someone to protect you, you not being alone in this world, because I think that doesn't make sense for us as human beings to be alone. We're truly social animals. So those are the four. So logically, makes more sense to have this person be with you so that that's just one part of your life you don't have to worry about anymore. Dating, is at an all-time high and is rampant. But people are not holding on to each other. They don't value each other as much because we're easily accessible. It's almost like shopping for groceries. And that goes for both men and both women for the most part. Yeah, that's something else. But on a Neolithic basis, protection. On a logical basis, longevity. On a traditional basis, building together, building a family unit together. On a contemporary basis, wealth. That's how I kind of see it. So the question is, what's your goal? Once you find out what your goal is, share it with your partner almost immediately. Like, what do you want at the end of the day? You got to make sure they want it too, because at some point in time, you're going to have to envision and embark on that trip together, right? You're going to do better. I'm going to do better. We all will. This is the Firm and Fair podcast. Enjoy your day.